Oh, this is Margaret Ann Windsor. I was kidnapped in 41 and brought to Bolton, Alabama, and given the name of a twin. Both twins were dead, and the name was Peggy Ann Dempsey, and I married a Childers. My real name is Windsor. Last name is Windsor. It's who I am. It's why all this happened to me and to my country, and it's happened to some Americans, but the thing well, I'm not going to get into that. I just wanted to make sure I put this part up. I usually put up documents and information on YouTube. I've got a bunch of them up, Facebook and Instagram. But what I wanted to focus on, I usually put a Larry Flint endorsement up because he was shot in Lawrenceville, and I was doing a book on mind control murders and doctors. I'd worked for doctors. This is back in 76 till April Fool's Day of 80, and I ran in a campaign and for U.S. Congress, etc. But my life has been hell. I've tried to put part of it up. What I wanted to focus on, I came to Roanoke. My jobs were shut down. The law, I couldn't get an attorney. The law doesn't work for me. So I came to Roanoke in the middle of the night back in 86 October, cold, no money. Ended up living on the Appalachian Trail in the Jefferson National Forest, up and down to Cornelius and in between. And, anyway, I'll get sidetracked, and I just want to say this. I have an immune disorder. When I'm around toxic chemicals in a closed space, my immune system attacks itself. And that may sound cute and light and all that. It's horrible. Over years, if you're force-fed deliberately, and that's what's been done to me, chemicals, the inflammation tears your body apart. Kidneys, lungs, liver, heart, veins. Now I'm going to skip, so over time it's horrible. You have to get away from it. And I'm going to quote again Carl Barton, retired Virginia State Trooper. His wife was up at Roanoke Mountain Campground. It's a national park campground. It's closed last year. Huge campground, but not many people used it for some reason. But anyway, not the last time I was up there, but one of them, fuel, he was host, and his wife Linda. Fuel was poured on my tent in the middle of the night. That also happened later, so that was not the last time that I got up and fell and hit a tree and, bruised all over. I mean, they've done everything to me. But anyway, his wife Linda brought me back that time. It was August the 14th of '09 to Corporate Suites. And I stayed there for 17 months, paid the rent. But Linda told me, his wife, before she left, and she said, this is how we run you with chemicals. Well, I know that, and everybody around here knows that, but I'm not allowed to say it. It's just dismissed. It's almost like a sick joke. Anyway, I mentioned their name. I put it up. They even gave me a little thing with their that you have made that's got their address and Galax on it and all that. So I wanted to, that's not the only way they run me, okay? So I'm so sick I can't stand it from toxic fumes. And I have to say this. I go to my doctor's office. I went to the x-rays at the hospital. I get on the bus. I go in stores. I have no problem. So don't tell me that my doctor did say this, because, anyway, I won't get into that. She says, you're the most sensitive to chemicals I've ever seen. That's not true. I normally could have lived a normal life, let me put it that way. It's because it's deliberate and toxic, and people run the agencies that help do this to me. It's because of who I am. I didn't find out until '83. Now, I wanted to get back to this because I'm fixing to leave here, and I'm in such bad shape. Roanoke Mountain, the host when I first went there, her name was Lacey. And remember, I said this is huge. And the site next to her, the girl burned formaldehyde all day and night. So evidently it doesn't affect people the way it does me. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind when somebody's burning formaldehyde. I just about die. There are symptoms you can't fake. So other people, formaldehyde is illegal to burn, first of all. This is the Interior Department, the National Park Service. And I could go on, there's so much happened over the years, but I'm just focusing on this. I was told later this happened more than once, and you could smell the formaldehyde from one end of that park to the other. And it can affect other people, evidently not in the degree it does me, but it can cause cancer. So then the Carl Barton, the retired state trooper, came in and was host, and the fuel was poured on me in the night, and et cetera, et cetera. But I went up there a couple more times during the years, maybe 3 or 4. The same girl would show up, and she would get next to me in this huge park, campground where nobody goes hardly. And she would manage to get next to me, and she would burn formaldehyde. This girl, this is different than the first one I spoke of. And I'm just going to jump to this. And then there was a woman who had worked for Channel 7 here, didn't know all this, and they weren't printed. She had worked for them, and she even moved across from me, and she made statements so that I heard it. She knew what, well, anyway, she burned formaldehyde. Well, this time, it was close to the last time I've been up there, excuse me. The man was, he was FBI. He's the only one that stood there and approached me when I went to pay. You had to go walk by the host trailer and go in to pay. He come out and he was upset. He said, he told me, he said that not long after I came in, a taxi brought me, all right, and went to the campsite, that 2 more people, one of them was the same girl that I told you would burn formaldehyde, get right next to me. Then they put another, they're busting them in almost, and giving them a formaldehyde. And even this man can't stop it. And he's the host in a FBI. But sick, I mean, and I had fuel poured on later, and I told that I failed. My tent was ruined. I passed, totally blacked out, and failed. So now I want to go back to North Creek. Over the years, this is a pretty spot. It's in Arcadia, Virginia, not far from Roanoke, where I'm at, in Trapple. Over the years, I've gone there, been run there, run from one place to the other so sick. I can't run anymore. I can hardly walk, much less carry my gear. So I'm going to have to hurry because I've got to leave, and I don't know if this will upload before I go. I wanted to get it down, though. And I've got the names in here. And the people out at North Creek are in Botetourt County. And Roanoke is like that, too, but they stick together, let me put it that way, and not for me. So I've had a lot of things done out there to me. And I've had to run. And Archie is one that was host for many years. And so help me God, he would pass out, they passed out wood that had been soaked in formaldehyde, and I don't know what else. And to the campers, most of them are local, though, and it just about killed me, seriously. So sick. So it's like putting your head against a brick wall. I wanted to go to, last year was the only time, on Memorial Day, too, I stayed out there about almost 3 weeks. And it was the only time that chemicals weren't used. I got so much better. I could walk. I felt better. I lost weight. Now then I want to go to this year because of the mess that's going on here. And I've even put papers up on the other videos to support what I'm saying. I went out there in March, and it was cold, and it rained, and the creek rose right beside me, North Creek, right by my campsite. Thought it was going to overflow. The host there had this motorhome that was so beautiful to be sitting out in this small 16 site, but very secluded and nice with a creek. 200,000, I would think, at least. Good air conditioning unit. Across from them was a man that helped them in the spraying of me and burning the formaldehyde. He had a camper that had a good air conditioning system. When I got there, there was a couple of people there when I got there. They left because of rain and it was so awful. So I stayed there about 9 days or 8, and for 3 or 4 out of those, they